Hey guys, still here and welcome back to Transport Fever 2. Today's episode, I'm going to be helping the people get from Amstelveen towards Utrecht a little easier, because it has been a slog for these people. Right now there is almost a group of 450 people assembled here, and just most of them want to get to Utrecht. So what I want to do is set up a line that just does this. Amstelveen, Utrecht and back. Very straightforward. The only thing that this line will have to contend with is the one train that's running on the larger segment. So from Amstelveen to Veenendaal Ede Wageningen. And actually beyond that, because it travels all the way to Arnhem now. Unfortunately, there's not that much that I can do about this station, because as I have noticed, there's some bug with this particular section of the tracks. And if I try to redo these, well, the game crashes. I don't know why, I don't know how to fix it, but I'm not going to play around with that. Now the plan is for the train not to try to interfere too much. I know that my one train is coming in from the right and is traveling on the, let's say, the right track, this side. And the other train, so the direct short line is going to be moving on here. That means that that terminal, which is Terminal 2, I believe. Yep, Terminal 2 is going to have a bit more traffic. And by doing so, well, it'll have a lot more people on it. But those people are on there anyway, because they want to get to Amstelveen. As for the train, I'm going to try and make it something that's fairly quick, that can get up to speed. So I'm going for a good power rating. And let's see what we have available. Steam. The class YE can only do 70 kph. The Russian class S can do 115, but I wonder how much that thing can pull. Let's see. These things can do 110. I actually doubt that I'll ever get up to 110. Whoa. You can only pull one? Reliably? Are these things so incredibly heavy? 40 tons? 15, 35, 35. Okay. So we're dropping right down to mediocre. That's pretty bad. Do we have anything else that is a bit more powerful? I believe that these are even worse, actually, the 10-wheelers. This is 880 kilowatts. 460, 700. This is 1000, the A35. I could add two of them, but I still don't get up to good power rating. Maybe I can get a class YE to run on that line. It has a lot more power. It won't get up to 100 kph. But I think that's actually not that bad. I just need to make sure that my wagons are not really designed to be 100. I mean, sure enough, they can do it. But the train can't do it. So maybe just a couple of Putilovs. And let's see how long I can keep that good. There we go. 112. 8 million a pop. That's the new train. Alright, new line. Very easy. Start here. And stop there. And that's all that I need you to do. Pretty boring line, but hopefully it's going to make some money. So that's AMS UTR. And judging by the color, it should be a blue one. Or purple, or whatever that is. This one, anyway. Now, let's see what terminal they have decided to use. They've decided to use Terminal 2, which suits me just fine. That's exactly where I want you to be. So the Amsterdam-Utrecht line, yes, that's exactly what I wanted. You're going to go from here and then use the regular track. Once you get to Amstelveen, I might have it use the other platform. But I don't think there's a real need for it, because all these people, they only want to travel in one direction. If they're not going to take the one train because they want to get beyond Utrecht, they can always take this one. And this one is actually doing 70. Interesting. I wonder if that changes once there are actual passengers on board. Power rating supposedly mediocre, but I can do 70 kph in 60 seconds. Let's see if that actually stays true. We can transport 112. There are a couple of people who have learned of this new line. But I don't think we're going to get anywhere near a full train on this one. They load up quick. There's only 14 people on board. Okay, that's not a lot. I can definitely still feel some lag in the game. The game seems to jump ahead every now and then. I don't really know what to do about this. Because, well, the game has to run a ginormous map at this point. And on top of that, there is a lot on that map. I already noticed that my game is blossoming to about 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is quite a bit. I'm not sure if that's the bottleneck, though. It could be my processor. Now, let's see if the people over here in Utrecht have smartened up yet. They have. All 5 of them. The other 332 have yet to learn of the ability to go onto a different platform. And actually, I need to make sure that they all get on the same platform. Because if I don't, then I'm going to have some passengers... If I have all of these passengers on the same terminal, so on the same platform, that would mean that they all have to go on the platform together instead of being spread out. Right now, there are only 9 people using the other platform, though. Despite that train being a hell of a lot faster. Not only in how quickly it accelerates, but also the frequency of the train. I think I'm going to have to switch this around. Make sure that the train arrives on this platform as well. It might cause some interference with the other one, but right now I only have 1 train there anyway. So at this point it should be fine. That's only 67,000, which is unsurprising. And I'm only taking 10 people back. It takes the game a bit of time to figure out that this new line might be more interesting. There we go. There's now 42 people there. They all want to go to Utrecht. The other 273 who want to go to Utrecht haven't configured yet, or haven't figured out yet, that the other line is a hell of a lot better. And they can... Oh, actually, it doesn't matter where they go. I'm only using the right terminal, so I thought I have to build an underpass or an overpass, but I don't. Because it really doesn't matter. Now, I'm going to let this run for a bit and see if the game figures out that the other line might in fact be a lot smarter to use. If they don't figure that out, then I can always tell the Amstelveen-Arnhem line to go and just stop in Utrecht. So make this a sort of a junction station. And that should at least start transporting a lot more people on this line, making it run profitable. Because the maintenance cost here is 1.4 million a year. And if I'm just holding 50 people, I'm not going to get anywhere near that. Yeah, it's... Well, actually, they're starting to transfer. Some of them. 62, 63, 64... There we go. They're now figuring out that, hey, maybe that other train doesn't look that bad. Maybe it might be better to go on this one, instead of waiting for the other train to eventually show up. And the other train happens to be on the other side of the line, closer to Arnhem. Now he might, and I'm talking about this new train, it might steal a little bit away from the profits from this line, but I think there will always be a demand for it. Because the people will always want to travel to here and then beyond. And of course, Utrecht to that line is, well, it's only that train, so they don't really have an option. Now looking at 71. 50 people there, but it's still getting overcrowded. And that is because the other direction is full. Because I'm trying to share the platform with all the people who want to go in a different direction. Okay, let's see what happens if I delete this section and allow that train to transit through here. Whoops. And then tell the train in Utrecht to take Terminal 1 instead of Terminal 2. So that is AMSUTR Terminal 1. Because then I know that on Terminal 1 everybody's traveling in that direction. So we're going to probably see a lot of passengers shift. There are underpasses here, right? Because I'm not really seeing them. I think I might not have any or many underpasses. Let's fix that. Well, apparently I have some. I cannot build them everywhere. Let's do one here. Here. And here. Although that platform is just really not being used. Oh, and of course this platform, the other direction, is also used by the... No, actually that's a different platform. My bad. 71 offloads. Still not near enough to make money. 20, 30, 40... 44? Come on, people. Smarten up. Smarten up, seriously. I'm going to adjust this line. I'm just going to have that one train running back and forth to Utrecht. And if they want to go elsewhere, well, they just have to skip, or they'll just have to transfer at Utrecht. So this line stops. It's gonna go Utrecht, Veenendaal, Ede, Wageningen, Arnhem, Veenendaal, Ede, Wageningen again, and then back to Utrecht. However, it cannot quite do that properly, because it cannot from there transit back onto the terminal, or onto the platform where it's supposed to go. And that's causing that line to malfunction. So this line says, hey, I cannot do that because I'm on terminal 2 and then I'm on terminal 1. It should be going here. And then if I build one section of track, well, ideally on this place, but I'm not sure if that's wide enough. Yeah, no. Construction not possible. Yes. There. Utrecht Arnhem still cannot do it. Over here it's alright. And then it says, sorry, I can't. Oh, now it can. Okay, I guess it reconfigured. Alright, good. Now we should see a massive flood go into the other line. There we go, 253 people. And now that other line should start making some serious money. Also the people over here, currently on AMS Utrecht. And this is now UTR ARN. And I'm already back at 10 million. Wow, that was fast. Alright, let's let that thing go for a bit. How about the other section? Because I have been keeping a close eye on this, but I'm still not quite happy with the performance. There's 200 people who want to go to Haarlem, so this stretch is very popular. I might need to do the same thing here, but it's such a small distance that I'm not sure if it's worth it. I could just, especially since these towns are almost connected now, try to get Zandvoort connected to Haarlem by tram. So by a big terminal station somewhere, which is getting increasingly hard to fit. I still have this one, but I don't think I can make it much wider without bulldozing a whole bunch of homes. Yeah, I could loop it in there. So that would allow a Zandvoort tram to go from here to there. Through this, let's say, newly spawned industrial area of Haarlem. By doing that, I might be able to relieve the pressure on the train and get all these people, and basically a lot of cash that I have lying around right now, transported. Is the line worth it? The line's worth about 900,000 in profits every time. How many people want to go to Zandvoort? Oh, sorry, this is the wrong line. Zandvoort, 63. So a lot more people want to go from here to there than they want to go back. Okay. How about running a cheap test? I can have an extended platform here. I'm sorry about your house, but I need the space. So I would have one platform there. And I'll make a... Yeah, let's make it a large street. I can cross over, fortunately. I want electrics on there, electric trams. Come on, connect it. And then, by special request, because I'm apparently building my roads far too straight lately. Let's arc this into the industrial area. Hopefully I can kind of upgrade this terrain. Maybe not. Alright, I'll just have to bite the bullet a bit. I don't quite like this section, but I don't see how I'm going to upgrade that. Construction not possible. Yeah, it simply refuses to do it. Alright, in that case we're going to have to do a small section that's not very pretty. Condition of train 5 is very poor. Alright, I'll look into that in a minute. I want to see what happens if I run two different options on one line. For that, yes, I'm going to start here. Zandvoort to here. I'll add another in-between stop here. So after Zandvoort, go there. After Haarlem, once again here. And that's a red line. So this is the ZAN, I think we called it, to HAA tram. And now I want to see when people are given the option what method of transportation they prefer. Let's go with 2 trams and let's see if that can compete with my trains. So I'm not competing with myself. And whichever method they prefer, I'm okay with that. I just want to know what they do. Also, let's make sure they have more capacity here, because if all of those hundreds of passengers suddenly flock to the other side, we're going to need a lot more capacity. Take Terminal 2. I'm not seeing massive amounts of people suddenly flock to this tram yet. Nor am I seeing them all walk away. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong line. I still need to find a way to fix this. The Amsterdam Haarlem tram, the one that does this wide road, is a little overcrowded. Despite me already running 4 trams. We have a demand on this side for 113 and 148. So if I add 4 more trams, I should start approaching what I need. Duplicate. Somebody was asking if I could do underground train stations. I do believe that I have that mod installed, although I'm not 100%. And on top of that, the bigger question is it feasible? Is an underground station not terribly expensive? Because if I have an underground station, then I could take the train here from Amstelveen, loop that to Haarlem, and then continue on north. That would be a very elegant solution. Probably quite expensive, but at least it would start transporting passengers faster than by the tram. Zandvoort Haarlem tram, 2 persons. That's it? Curious. Why do these people prefer the train so much? Because the train runs every 15 minutes. And this tram runs every 3 minutes. What is so great about the train? Sure, it might be a little faster. But I think that's about the only advantage that there is at the moment. Alright, let's get the game to chew on that for a bit. Checking in with this line again. Still 282. The line is making 800,000. Which means that in 10 years I'll have completely recouped my investment. I'm seeing... Yep, there's new passengers being loaded on in Utrecht. There are still a little under capacity on this line. 211, 296. If I can afford another one of these, then I can probably double the profits. So, can I copy this? Yes? Game says no. How expensive are you? 8.8. Oh, I just ran down to less than 8 million, or 8.8 million. Just wait a bit, and we'll get that train going. Now, the year is only 1916. By the time that it's, let's say, 1950 or 1960, I imagine that these towns have grown even further. So it's going to be even crazier. There we go, there's my new train. There's going to be even more demand for trains. Even the trams, which, especially this line, is already... Oh, sorry, that's the bus line. The tram line here is already running quite a lot of them, and still stacking 50 people here. Another 90 there. How much population is there? 1,900. More than 1,000. More than 1,000. And 1,200. Jesus, yeah, it's not surprising. This is a town of about 4,000 people combined. And then there's another 1,200 here. And I'm running around with a capacity that is, well, not nearly enough. Not nearly enough. Because let's say that about a third of the population over here would want to travel. That's still between 1,200 and 1,500 people-ish, depending on how quickly these towns grow and shrink. And I'm giving them a capacity of 112. It is unsurprising that these trains are overcrowded all the time. I do wonder where they want to go, because if I can figure that out, I might make their travel a little more convenient. The shops mostly want to go to Haarlem, Amsterdam Zuidoost, Nieuw-West and Amstelveen. So it's all, let's say, regional transport. It's nothing that wants to go very, very far. A couple want to go to Zandvoort, some to Zeist, some to Apeldoorn. It's low numbers. It's not like they're suddenly jumping out, hey, we have 100 people who want to go to Schiedam. That'd be great. Because then I could figure out a way to get them, for example, transported by ship or make a direct route to Amstelveen, Schiedam. But in this current situation, I don't see that happening. Now, where are my two trains here? I think the one just arrived. Or is this that one? Yeah, there we go. That's the train 4. And the other train's just departing with another 112 passengers on board. It's still stacking up. Amstelveen Utrecht is just such a busy line. What else can I do? How about a ring line? A line that is on, let's say, the outer side of the towns. Could be an entirely new road. And I could have a couple of trams, or let's say one big tram line going counterclockwise and one clockwise. And that could be a way to get people to where they need to go. Because right now, they have a lot of transfers to make, and everything transitions through this middle of the town, which is already very, very busy. So let's say that I want to have an outer line. And I could, for example, tie that into this one. Let's make it a large street. I will go with the curvature. And I'm going to start here. And yeah, we're going to do it like that a bit more. That's 100,000. Fortunately, I'm already back up to 3.3 million. Yep, do it. Then a medium street. Upgrade this bit. Please. Oh, you already are a medium street. I'm sorry. Back to electric. That's not very round, is it? That's not exactly a turn. There we go. I think the game was still sort of stuck on having straight routes. If I do this, I'm going to have to upgrade these paths. But yeah, let's do it. So, the upgrade tool, upgrade this, upgrade that, and, well, I'm sorry, but I need the space. Oh, hold on. There you are. Oh, whoa, okay. I didn't really expect that to bulldozer the whole neighborhood. I thought I would remove a bit, not all of it. Tie that into here. Yes, I'll remove that. Hold on. Now I need to try and figure out where I'm going to set up my connector points. I already have one here. That's a good start. I just need to make sure it's easy to connect. And that, yep, I'm sorry, I need that space. That this is easier to reach for the tram. Let's make that a medium street that ties into here. Done. Okay. This line is going to get extended to here. I'm going to go with a couple of tram stations on the edge of it. And I will probably need a bit of room here. There's going to be 3 lines arriving here. Because that's going to be this one that gets extended. And one that goes clockwise and one that goes counterclockwise. Upgrade tool. You're going to continue along through here to here. And you are the north-south line, which gets a whole new meaning very soon. After stop 4, hit this one. Amstelveen south, and then back to here. And you should be able to figure that out. Yes. Okay, done. Now there's this whole stretch of neighborhood, and they are definitely looking for more space. So what I'll do is help them get that space by clearing up this land. That would be flatten. It's pretty expensive, but it will allow me to dictate how the town's going to grow here. And especially where I'm going to build my road. Because I want that road to continue on here. And then towards there. So that I can also tie into this large station. And then transit further north. Without bulldozing too much here. Because this is already a well-established area. That is going to be very expensive to adjust. I don't want to do that. If I don't really have to. The question is, do I completely paint up this area or not? There are 2 ways to go. I could just try to make this as closed as possible and just fuse these towns all the way together. But I don't think that that's the right way to go. Because I kind of like having this little land bridge connecting them. And by that, making sure that Haarlem sort of gets controlled in its growth. And doesn't just keep expanding the way that it is. Because it's already a really big town. And I don't think that is going to let up anytime soon. Yeah, the game's already trying to build new stuff. Large street, yes, electric. Yeah, I do want to tie that to here. So that's going to be at the cost of another 2 homes. And then, let's say another junction closer to here. So here could be another stop. And that way I would have a stop here, a stop there. Another stop maybe somewhere here north. Which I have to be quick about because the game's already trying to just assimilate more of it. So let's immediately throw down that tram station. Yes, I'll take 3 stops, or 3, what do you call them? 3 terminals. And then another street access point. which I cannot afford because apparently I just paid off something for another 700k, probably maintenance stuff. I just need 25 to get this thing going. Come on. Done. Streets. Medium street. Tie that in. Done. Alright, so stop 1, 2, 3. And that could be number 4. Amsterdam New West. Just try to bring it there. That could work. First, let's get this road built. 260. There, 211. And then if I do want to build this, it's going to get really expensive. It's also going to be probably the fastest way of getting around town. Quite literally around the town. 1.5 million, sorry, 1.1 million. 1.7. And then ideally I tie it into this place because this already seems like a larger road. I'm still very concerned that the game is going to... Because the game sometimes has quite a long hang time where it doesn't do anything. There's breaks in the video, if there's stuff that seems like, hey, it's almost like you hit pause. Well, I didn't. The game did. Yeah, let's do it. And then upgrade this bit. Right. So I got my west station, my north, my east, and my south. Now I just need to make sure that these are connected. This one's definitely connected already. And I still have a couple of empty terminals. The one over here, I'm probably going to just tie into north-south, because they're already kind of going there. And that could also allow me to start catching more people from here. It does double up a bit, but this thing catches a bit more. Alright, north-south, managed line. Where do you go? After Amsterdam Central, you're going back to 1. Yeah. How do I tell this thing to start going elsewhere as well? Because I need to tie these in. There, there, and there. And then ideally back to 1. So you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then there. It's not the most elegant solution, but it does work. Alright, now to upgrade. Medium streets. It's pretty much alongside here. Need a bit more cash to do it. And there. And here. And... oh. Yeah, no, that was not upgraded yet. The game's still not quite happy with my decision making by the looks of it. Or is it gone? No, it still cannot quite get there. Yeah, it's that new segment. From here, it cannot get to the Kapelse Steeg. But I don't really get why, because it should be able to connect at this point. Oh. That's what happens if you don't hit electric. That's the problem here. Are none of these parts electric? If not, then how the hell is this tram able to run here? Because the tram is electric. Okay. I still can't get there because I haven't upgraded this bit yet. There, there, here. There we go, that covers it. Right. Now, from here to here is going to be a bit of a nightmare because I have to travel through this industrial area and then through this industrial area, so it's going to be very busy. And I don't really see a way of speeding that up. I could make some small adjustments, such as building an additional road from here to there. And that would actually allow me to make the line a bit more circular. But aside from these small tweaks, we will be facing standard traffic. There, 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 and there. Alright. Oh, crap, I haven't upgraded this yet, because I only set it to tram track, but not electric. Does that cover it? I think it does. Let's try. Starting here, the big station. Since I'm going here, I might as well add another stop. Because it's not quite being covered by this one. Giving more people the option to travel this way would always be handy. Then there. Then we're going to go all the way here. Let's just make this thing easier to see for me. Then all the way there. And then back. That's the plan. AMS ring tram. I do believe I had a depot here somewhere. Yeah, this one. This one does 35. No, I want the fastest tram, and that's still the CE. Let's take 3. Okay, so apparently the game does accept it. There we go. It's now selected. Whoa. It selected a bit of a weird route. After 5, it decides to go all the way through the town? No. What are you doing? Oh, it takes a route from here through the town to there. No. That's not what I want. Let's set up waypoints here. And then after, what is it? Southeast Central? At this one. Is that properly set up? It should be, although this part might need still to be upgraded. Is this too busy yet? Yeah, it is too busy. I need to add an additional terminal. Because there will also be another tram going in the opposite direction. So this, to specify, will be train AMS ring tram clockwise. And then another one, starting here but going the opposite way. So first stop, second stop, third stop is the waypoint, fourth stop is here, fifth stop is over there, sixth is over there, and then you're going back. So this is the AMS ring tram counterclockwise. And that is ring space tram counterclockwise. Alright, let's let the game run for a bit because I want to see if people actually use that thing. AMS ring tram counterclockwise. I did note the color difference there, so yeah, at some point I'll have to go over all the lines and adjust those. Let's see, this one ties in with everything. It's a terminal. This one ties in with north-south and the counterclockwise. This ties into west-east, which also happens to arrive here. And then you got the ring to the south. This one doesn't catch a whole lot yet. Hopefully the town, well, maybe hopefully. The town is probably going to grow a bit more in this direction. And we'll just have to see what sort of additional sprawls we're going to get over here. Because I have no doubt that it's going to get very busy. How's that train doing that I set up? 2 million a year. Nice. That's what I want to see. And the amount of population that wants to travel is actually decreasing. Or at least there's no longer such a waiting line over here. 88 this way. And only 4 waiting for this one. I think I might have too much capacity at this point. Over here, the tram. Yeah, there's so much I need to upgrade. And I don't know at what point either my RAM or my CPU starts to be the bottleneck for this whole thing. Look at that. You can almost see it from orbit, this ring around the town. Now, back to our tram situation. It's only costing me money. There is some use of this tram. But barely. This is the tram that's running inside of Haarlem. This one is not quite full, and the other one 17 out of 21. Alright. Expenses are definitely too great. I'm paying too much for this line. Okay, so that didn't work. People want the train. For reasons which I don't quite fathom, but alright, that's their choice. They want the train. They want the train pretty bad. 177. So arguably I could set up another one of those shorter lines from here to there, and that might allow all these people to start traveling quicker. But it is such a short hop that I don't know if I can make a train profitable. And beyond that, it'll be fighting with the other train. Trains, actually, no, train, singular. Capacity of 168, it's still making $1 million a year. Anyone that I need to troubleshoot? OBL? Really? You're costing me 121 million a year? Oh, sorry, 121,000? That's a lot. Capacity 6 out of 84. Maybe because the dock is overflowing and there's really no reason to be here. Manage vehicles. I'm going to duplicate this. Get 2 more ships on this line. Hopefully that'll speed things along. And also make more of a demand for this tram. In the meanwhile, I'll make sure that the tram doesn't have this many vehicles. I think it's just too much. What else? Amsterdam North-South. Minus 40,000. The ring tram currently negative. There's there's one whole passenger on there. North-South, 37, 30. It's all feeders. The G&K food supply is not doing very well. That's actually a bit unexpected. Or is it? No, it is not, because I set it up wrong. This is Lommel, and this is where it should be going. What I instead did was consider this as the drop, or sorry, the pickup point. That's the pickup point. I'm not getting any food, because I'm not actually picking it up. And now it should start getting delivered over here. Terminals are all split, that's good. See, the Lommel food supply is doing relatively well, but has a lot of food waiting for it. So this line could use a few more vehicles. Lommel's getting supplied with, well, not even half of what it needs. Duplicate that. Alright, what else? HSP food supply. 12 out of 18. Hello, wat sluitspijkenissen? Oh, right, that was that grain line that wasn't doing very well. This one. But it actually is doing very well. Whoa. It's doing really well now. This line was sort of getting misrepresented every now and then. And that's what I discussed previous episode. But where's my food? Why am I not seeing a lot of food being produced here? Consumers. You're just taking 50? Nah, you can take more than that. Because you're taking 86 at most. You're getting only a third of that. So arguably there should be a lot more here. So I'm not sure why they're not getting more food than they are. Did the ship just pass? It did just sort of pass that way. Let's duplicate this. Because I'm taking 100 that way, and I'm only taking 50 back. And there's no shortage of grain here, so that second ship should have absolutely no issues with loading up. That should make this line provide more food, and hopefully grow this town faster as well. Where do these people want to go? Some of them want to go shopping in Oudorp. Some of them want to go working in Oudorp. Very few actually want to go to Oud-Beierland. Time to tie these towns together and see what happens. That might cut into the shipping, because there are currently just 15 people who want to go there. In the opposite direction, Upper Oudorp 34. I don't think the demand is going to entirely fall off, but it might take a bit of a hit. Let's go up. Because I don't want to interfere with shipping here. I want to be already going down here. But in the middle of the bridge, I want it to be as big and wide as possible. So that I not interfere with the ships that still have to pass underneath it. There we go. I don't need tram tracks. I just need this to be connected. That's all. So now the guys can use their own vehicles. And probably will use that to get from Spijkenisse to Oud-Beierland. How's my southwestern area doing? Whoa. 120? Where do you all want to go? They want to go across the water. What? That's a lot of people. And they all just want to go from here to there. That's all. But 182 of them. This town only has 238 residents. Sure enough, there might be some traffic of people who want to go back. But aside from that, come on. I could build a bridge. And by building a bridge, I could once again get these towns connected, similar to what I just did in the north or norther area. And maybe set up a bus line. Or I could just have one specific ship go here back and forth. Let's try that. EXP, experimental line. What were the abbreviations again? I think it was BRE to MID? MLD? What do I call this? MID. Okay. Let's build a shipyard. They're generally very cheap to build anyway. Spin that around. And then a relatively small ship. 70 people. Line, EXP. Let's see how that does. Again, we might have to adjust it a bit, because there might be a lot of people who want to go and use the other ship, because they don't know about the other one yet. So the similar situation that we had over here in Amstelveen, Utrecht. Because that line took a bit of motivating to get started. Speaking of... yeah, the line's not as profitable as it once was. Because there's just an overcapacity of units here. An overcapacity of seats. See, this thing only carries 20. That's really bad. How about you? 68? Okay, in that case, I'm going to sell off one of these vehicles, because whereas originally they were making a ton of money, I think I can now make do with just the one train. Let's see if people have figured it out. No, they have not. No, they have not. Okay, so if I just delete stop 8, I need to delete stop 7. And stop 8. That one. That should fix that shipping line. Boom! 159, just switch to the other line. And 105 here. Alright, so that should keep these guys busy. And if the amount of supply for this dock keeps up, it'll be making a lot of money. It's a very short hop though, so I don't have to get it from distance, I just have to get it from numbers. Now there was, once upon a time, a line over here in Antwerpen. It was a bit of a clusterfuck because it was so occupied here on the bridge. And it still is. You can still see that this terrain is completely landlocked. Or gridlocked, rather. And until I get the opportunity to build bus and tram lanes, I am not touching that area. It is just not profitable. AI is not allowed to build houses. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even know that was a thing. Must be a mod that I'm running. Anyway, I'd like to start helping these towns grow as well, but it's going to be really hard to get a reliable connection between the towns. So right now, no go. And I think Brussels is even worse. I still have a tram going back and forth. 2 trams, in fact. With a really low amount of demand. This one is making money, albeit not that much. Yeah, it's an interesting situation here with 5 towns. But it's going to be very hard to get profitable. So let's not. Alright, with this I'm going to end the episode actually. I don't want the game to crash. Not after all that I have done at this time. We have summarily built the shipping lane over here. We have built the newer train connection between Amstelveen and Utrecht. And we have this large ring connection that's traveling all the way around. Unfortunately, there are very few takers of the line. I think it is... Well, it might be faster if I don't go with a tram, but with a bus. Because already the bus can get at a higher speed than the tram. The tram can do 40. The bus, I believe, can do 40... Yeah, it can also do 40, so it doesn't matter. I need to wait for faster vehicles. So, I'm probably going to let the time progress a couple more years before the start of the next episode. Which will also really make my bank account a lot better. And then I can start to build additional lines. But that and more in the next episode, and I shall hope to catch you guys then. Thank you for watching. See you guys next time.